Hey, how's it going? So, we're going to walk through this full system and we're going to start with my journey and my story. So, I quit my corporate job back in 2020 to start my own business. And I started with a lead generation agency in the real estate space in around 2020, 21. And in that time frame of running that business for just over 3 years, I worked with over 212 businesses, specifically in real estate. I served the real estate industry mostly. Ended up quitting that business that was actually extremely successful in the end of March 2024. And there was lots of reasons that led up to this. Partially was just I knew that this business wasn't congruent to the life I wanted to build. And also I knew I had a better skill set to offer people than what I was currently doing, which is just generating leads. And so kind of started searching for the next step, and then really launched web marketing, which started again in 2025, and really saw the results start to take off. And I really realized that marketing is actually much more of a holistic approach than what a lot of people were doing in the marketing space. And so that kind of started this process. So I've seen this a lot when you need marketing help. Usually business owners, especially service-based business owners, start looking in one of three directions. As like, first you try to DIY it, throwing spaghetti at a wall and hoping it sticks, and sometimes you can get some success, but typically because you're a business owner, not a marketer, you kind of hit a wall at some point. Or you just feel like you're just trying things but nothing is really sticking or working because you don't actually have a holistic strategy. And like I said, you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, not a marketer. So it makes sense that you would have those results. And so DIY, that's one option, or you typically people will hire internally. The problem with that is, that's one of the most expensive ways to kind of get marketing help is to hire a full salary employee with benefits, or even just part time. Like, it can really be a lot of finances, and sometimes they don't, because of their expertise level that you can afford to hire. The results aren't that great because they don't have a lot of marketing experience. If they don't have the right system and plan in place, like, sure, they can do the tasks, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those things that they're doing is actually contributing to the business goals and objectives that you have. And so that is the second option. And the third option, which I used to run, was to outsource to an agency. The problem is that, again, it is very expensive, typically, for this type of work. And typically, like, the results are also not the best because the agency's whole goal is to get more clients and to do basically the same thing for each client and make it as automated and copy and paste as possible. And that's another thing, is they will take the same campaigns that they use for 100 other their clients and use the same ones for you, which is not custom to your brand, to your city, to the types of people you're trying to attract. And so that's typically why the results may be good at first, but it's not actually a long-term strategic play for your business. So you may get leads, you may get deals from it, but if you're not building it sustainably, you have to pay them month after month to get the leads, to get the results. And as soon as you stop paying them, that's when the results go away and you're right back where you started. And a lot of times people flip from one marketing agency to the next and never do anything consistently. So all these three options, I knew there had to be a better option for people in service-based businesses. And so I want you to think about the kind of this philosophy behind holistic marketing, is behind, like, when you think of Tesla, immediately you think of Elon Musk. You don't think about necessarily like the coolness of how the cars look. All those are all great factors, but there's so many other brands that have electric cars, but Tesla by far is dominating their market in this area, and a lot of that is attributed to the personal brand of Elon Musk. And so I want to pose this question to you, is like, what if you're missing the most important selling part of your business? Like, there's intrinsically not that much difference between Tesla's electric car and other electric cars, but because of Elon's personal brand, that is what causes him to be able to basically own that market. And so with this, there is an important study that Google did, and it's called the 7-11-4 rule. Basically, the framework suggests that it takes a consumer nowadays about 7 hours of content interacting with you or your brand across 11 touch points in 4 different locations. So this is why content is king in today's world versus other forms of marketing and advertising, is because this is the time and nurturing process it takes to take person from a stranger to a client. And so if you're not doing this properly and doing your marketing properly, you are missing out on a bunch of opportunity, and most likely you're just relying on referrals or repeat business or SOI or outdated methods, such as billboards or flyers or things like that just don't perform consistently really well. And so if you're relying on referrals and Sphere and SOI and those things like that, your business tends to be very up and down and unpredictable. And if you're wasting money on advertising or marketing that's not actually optimized for the way people make decisions, then the results are going to suffer. And so I realized with this, when I worked with over 200 real estate agents and businesses, and these were some of the results we're getting, like 4 closings in 16 weeks, $1 million listings. One of our clients, Kelly, actually became a top 5% agent. And before, she was just like hoping and praying the next deal would come through the next month, and very much living month to month. And she gave us a nice, really shout out here. And we were working with her for over 2 years. And so I started to see some trends as far as the results we were getting, and realized that there were some commonalities. So I started this process when I looked at people that actually decided to work with me. That's a huge thing that you have to do. You have to look at your clients and figure out like why they decided to work with you. Maybe a combination of things, or maybe like one thing. And so I realized I was spending over $30,000 in ads, and I realized basically no one bought straight from the ads and the website. Most of them, through the ads, followed me on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube from my ads, and then the content and my follow-up actually nurtured them, mostly my content, nurtured them from becoming strangers into really, really high-paying clients. And so this changed my thought process completely about how I got clients, because I thought, okay, just run an ad, they book a call, they buy from me. And that was not the process that was actually happening. So I tried to replicate this process with my clients, and the results were absolutely insane. Because obviously, you wouldn't be here if your marketing didn't need some major help. Most local businesses, service-based businesses, real estate businesses, whatever kind of industry that you're in, their marketing is extremely outdated. It's not really converting. They don't measure, they don't track, they don't optimize. It's just, again, throwing spaghetti at a wall. It's very disorganized. So maybe somebody's running it, but as soon as that person stops running it, it just doesn't get done. And it's only dependent on the work of one person. And their marketing is very general. So it's kind of like you're just kind of doing what everyone else does, and you sound like everyone else. And so that's why people compare you with your competitors, because you sound like everyone else. And when you're general and you're not specific, then people don't choose you over the competition, because you're just like everyone else in their eyes. That's called being commoditized. If your service is commoditized, people are going to price compare you with other people, and they're not going to choose you, even if they would if you had built the brand and the trust with them, because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So this is how we take your marketing from this problem to being current, high converting, organized, and extremely personalized. Number one, obviously to your brand, to what you're trying to build, but also to the goals that you're trying to hit, because you can be doing all these things that are marketing, but that doesn't mean it's actually helping you hit the goal. If it's not actually bringing you closer to your goal, it's a waste of time. And so that's what I mean also by being personalized. So these are the results. When you do this right, the results are, number one, you no longer have to struggle to get new clients. Your client getting issue becomes a lead fulfillment issue. So instead of having to generate leads all the time, you're actually having to focus on building a team to be able to service the amount of leads you're getting. So that issue goes away. Secondly, is your You are the go-to in your town because you've built the brand, you've done the marketing well, you've done the advertising, you've done the content, all those things. You are not being commoditized, and people are choosing you because they like you, and they will choose you over your competitors every time because you've built that know, like, and trust factor through this system that I'm about to go through. Number three is your competitors start to copy you, which is actually so crazy. When people start seeing your success, not all the businesses that I've worked with, nobody is really doing this fully in their town. And so people start seeing their success and they start to try to copy them, but they can't because they don't have the advantage that you have of being the first to do it, or at least the first to do it well, because people may be doing some aspects of this, but very rarely have I seen all these pieces working together for people, unless they have someone that knows what they're doing. So local service businesses. So the first, I just kind of want to go through this in stages, right? Because there's stages, there are processes to everything. If you try to do everything at once, you're going to get overwhelmed. But first we got to do is build the foundation. So the first step is we go through profile optimization on your Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, making sure everything is congruent, not just with like branding, colors, things like that, but also for call to actions. And also making sure your content is easily visible with people that follow you and look at your ads, and so that way they can start to nurture themselves into wanting your service over anyone else's. So typically with Instagram, so first we got like kind of like the ads portion, and then we're going to go through the content. Both of these, ads and content, work together. Organic and ads work together so well. The reason why we don't just rely on organic is because it's not consistent. You can't rely on the algorithms. You can't rely on it consistently generating business. And so this is where the ads come in, because all of this, the job of the ads is to drive consistent traffic to these places. So the first thing that we do on IG and Facebook is a local giveaway ad. This thing crushes because with a giveaway, they have to follow you and they have to tag people, and so it's actually getting on their friends profiles and things like that. And so the exposure on this is insane. Usually generates anywhere from 600 plus followers, just depending on how good the giveaway is. And it also helps you stay top of mind, and that gives you an audience to retarget, because once they followed you, interacted with your page, then you can start to retarget those people. And so the next stage, once we get this going, this giveaway ad, a local giveaway ad, then we start with retargeting ads. Retargeting ads is going to basically retarget these people that have clicked or interacted with you at all, and they're already starting to be nurtured at that point. They've already seen you, they're starting to build that trust. And so we start retargeting ads, which is hyper targeted. It has a more direct call to action to want to work with you, or have a book a call, or do like a quote, or a consultation, like whatever your next step of your sales process is. And the trust is already built because they've followed you, they've engaged with your content, they've seen your ads. And so there's already that trust, and it's not a cold lead that you have to try to convince to use you. Next piece is going to be lead gen ads. So these are more direct ads, but it helps you generate consistent lead flow and now customers, because you have long-term, you have short-term clients, people that may need your help now, maybe need your help 3 months from now, 6 months from now, but you want to constantly be building that pipeline. So the lead gen ads help us really just have now customers that are builds consistent lead flow, and it's just a more direct approach with that as well. But we do all three so that we can get the best of everything. Again, it's an ecosystem. It's not one or the other, it's everything together. Like I said here, ads generate traffic, content converts. So the content system that we use is a very simple system. It starts with nurturing your list. Nurturing your list is key to everything. So if you have a list already, we start with that, but we start writing an newsletter, 2 emails a week. This is going to nurture that list. It's going to produce constant people that are reaching out to you. And it's good that it's an email list, because with content, you're going through other people's algorithms and things like that, versus your list, you own it. And so there's nothing that can change to take that away from you. So once we get these emails written, an email newsletter, we're going to repurpose our YouTube video content, and we're going to do one long form YouTube video a week. And then we're going to send that video through the emails as well. And then this then from the YouTube video, we take the ideas that we've built in our YouTube and in our emails, and we start to create short form reels. Now there's two styles of reels that we would focus on. First is going to be educational, and the second is going to be the more documentation. And so we start publishing 3 to 5 reels a week. We usually do about 50%, 50 to 70% educational, and the other percentage of that documenting, because you kind of want to be a real person. You want to show your day-to-day life. You want to do those things, and we'll help you kind of build out this whole content strategy. So it's really, really simple. But you also want it to be educational, so people know that you know what you're talking about. And then the next thing is going to be Instagram stories. That's what nurtures people. And you can do either day in the life stuff, documenting it, as well as call to actions to get people to DM you. And so this whole process here is what we work on and what we do to be able to get these results here. And so once you're able to incorporate a marketing system like this in your business, everything really starts to change. Your business starts to scale. You start attracting clients effortlessly, because you've become the go-to in your town. You've become the person that people want to reach out for tree removal, for real estate. Like, you are the person. And so this is how you do that and become the local hometown hero in your industry and in your city. So if you've watched this video, then, well, either hopping on a call, or if you haven't booked a call yet, there'll be a link here to do that. And I'll see you on the call. And this is kind of like the framework. When I hop on a one-on-one call with you, everything is when we figure out exactly what your specific needs and goals are, and everything gets really more tailored and customized to you and your business specifically. So that's what we'll do on the call, is take a deeper dive. But appreciate you watching this, and I'll see you later.